Yo guys, Mike for Sim Racing 604 and welcome back to RaceRoom Racing Experience. This is the newly updated RaceRoom Racing Experience. I'm driving the Alfa Romeo from the 1995 DTM season here at Diepholz. I don't know how to pronounce that. Forgive me, everyone in Germany or everyone who speaks German. But yeah, we're going to be testing out the new content today. There are two new cars. And that kind of fills out the 95 DTM class, which we're driving here, and then two tracks plus a classic update for Hockenheim. So we'll test all of that. But perhaps most notably, even more than the content, as I just randomly smash into a wall, is the graphics updates, or are the graphics updates. So RaceRoom is among the older titles still in development. This one goes back a decade-ish, and so the graphics are starting to show their age for sure, but the folks at KW decided to make updates, and yeah, it's looking better than ever. Am I a huge fan of this visually, even with the updates? Not really. There's a lot that looks really great, but you know, you put this next to most of the other sim racing titles in my collection, it's still in the bottom half, I would say. But yeah, well done to KW just the same in making those updates, because it's definitely an improvement. And yeah, so the focus today, as I said, will be the new content. So right now driving the Alfa here at this converted airport circuit, which I love. I love all airport circuits. For whatever reason, a runway to me is just an excellent way to put your main straight at a raceway. So yeah, this is a good one. I'm not going to do too long here. I don't want to make this an especially long video, but I did want to try out the new content. Alright, so we've got the Alfa here. We've done probably enough warm up here, short shifting. So let's start to wind this engine out. Let's start to get some speed out of this Alfa. So, beautiful sounds, as we have come to expect from a RaceRoom Racing Experience. Truly the best sounds of any racing game, and this Alfa Romeo does not disappoint. You can see the visuals here. We're running at sunset. We've got a few clouds here. There's different cloud formations now. We have that option to select how much cloud we want in the main screen. Still no proper weather, so this is not a complete time of day and weather suite like we have in a lot of other racing titles, but just the same, it's a bit more realistic in giving us those extra options. So again, well done to KW. But yeah, the sounds are undeniable, and I think at close range like this, like, the visuals are very good. If I was racing wheel to wheel with this guy, it would be completely immersive. So I don't want you to think that I don't appreciate the work KW did. They have done nice work. It's just, fact is, with an engine, with a game engine this old, yeah, there's probably going to be limitations unless you get into heavily modded, like a Assetto Corsa or something like that. You're not going to find older titles that truly stand out visually compared to the modern titles. But yep, this one pretty good. Use of light is very nice. So yeah, we'll finish up this lap, and that'll do it for my look at the Alfa. And then we'll get into the, whoa, Opel, however you say that, at Avis. But yeah, super fun car, by the way. Haven't talked much about the car, but it does feel very alive. RaceRoom in recent years went through and updated almost all of their content as far as I'm aware, or maybe all of their content, and gave us some hugely improved cars. There's also some track updates packed into, I'll go one more lap. There's also some track updates packed into this update. 2024 Red Bull Ring and the Nordschleife, I believe, is also 2024, so pretty cool. But yeah, I was going to say, when they updated their cars, there's a lot of the classic cars. RaceRoom does a good job with classic motorsport content, and they did a great job updating those cars over the past couple of years, past few years, I should say. And we have a lot of gems in this title. I hope that we get a full GT1 suite at some point. Would be great to have all those cars, because the GT1s we have are great. They just roar and they're super fun to drive. But unfortunately, there's some key GT1 cars, in my opinion, that are missing. And you can look at the Race Sim Studio GT1 cars for Assetto Corsa if you want to know what I'm talking about specifically. But that might come down to licensing. Whoa. All right. One more time over the finish line. Now we'll go to Avis. All right, so here now at Avis on board the Opel, or Opel, whatever the preferred pronunciation. And I've done a few sort of installation laps here, and this brings a huge smile to my face. This is an excellent, excellent car-track combo, specifically the track, if I'm honest. The track feels very, very good. The road surface is phenomenal. Very bouncy. You can see the car kind of shaking around. Nothing too dramatic, but yeah, you can kind of see how the suspension is getting a workout here, which is very cool. The trackside detail is absolutely phenomenal. And yeah, PW has just nailed this. This is a phenomenal track. Wow. One of my favorite tracks I've driven this year, I would say. This is, you know, still early impressions, still getting used to things. Is it the most exciting layout? No, but, you know, that's not the fault of KW Studios, of course. This is just how the AVUS track was laid out. And, again, they've really done a great job making the most of what it is. And not as great on the sounds here in this Opel as we had with the Alfa, but still very, very good. Let's take a listen. You can see the driver reaching for that stick shift, which I still do not have in my new rig setup, but I'll get that going very shortly. So just paddle shifting here, but still huge, huge fun. Oh, oh. Not happy about that. All right, let's wait for some traffic to catch up at this point, and then we'll have some wheel-to-wheel action. Let's go, Alpha. Boy, that Alpha is a great looking car, isn't it? See the big sparks, the big backfires coming out of that Alpha. These visuals are working, man. They look great. All right, let's go for a lap. I'll walk you through a lap here. We're getting the slipstream here, so we will be able to overtake down this long start-finish straight. And I'm braking at that little white post past the 200. Not a particularly tough braking zone, however, a lot of braking to be done. You want to bleed out nearly all the speed. I might have kissed the wall there. Don't do that. And we hug the left side here, getting ready for a complicated chicane. Trail braking all the way to that center apex. I was in second gear there. Sometimes I go down to first. We'll kick left so that we can go right. And then just past these tire barriers, I'm going to start to bleed out the speed. No need to jam on the brakes. Ooh, missed it there. But we're still able to hold on. Let's go for one more. But yeah, the entire lap takes 55, 56 seconds, something like that. And that's me driving, so I'm sure best in the world will be tipping into the 49s maybe? I don't know. But again, braking in the straight line, bleeding out as much as we can, holding as far right as we can, make it around that barrier safely. Slightly off pace there. And then again, trail braking. Back end kicks out slightly as we exit there, but nothing too serious. Kick left so we can go right down about 2/10. See if we can clean it up to the final corner though. Braking a little bit harder this time, but again, it's not slamming on your brakes, it's just kind of bleeding out speed. Whoa, come on, my tires were not cooperating there. All right, let's see if we can beat 55-106, and then we'll go on to the final new circuit. It's actually revised, updated if you will, for a classic layout. You have to go so slow around turn 1 here. I imagine it'll be a serious problem if you're riding anything too dependent on turbos. Oh, that killed my speed, that's for sure. All right, keep it clean, Mike. Nope, still nothing. It's like a reverse parabolica here. That was a better exit anyway. Might be able to beat 55-1. Nope, close. All right, last lap no matter what. Let's see if we can do this, Mike. Come on, keep it clean, keep it clean. By the way, my head movement goes all crazy when I'm exiting that first corner. So I think we're on a decent pace here. Let's see. Yep, up 4/10, so as long as I don't botch it in the final corner here. Just trying to hug that inside railing, wait for the grip, and punch it. All right, so super happy with both the Opel and Avis. Super fun. All right, we got one more track and car to try. All right, now we're in the Mercedes here at Hockenheim Classic. So not a new car, not a new location, but this classic layout is a recent add to RaceRoom Racing Experience. And for those tracking continuity, was I just wearing a different shirt? Yes, in fact I was. Had a few personal things to do, but I'm back at the rig now, driving this Mercedes here at Hockenheim Classic. And much like Avis, we have a very bumpy track, and that translates beautifully through this RaceRoom force feedback. I really love the force feedback in this game. It's subtle, it's much more, in my opinion, realistic. I do like a bunch of force feedback effects typically in most of my racing sims. Reason being is you don't have the seat of the pants feel, so you got to rely on what the car is doing through the wheel. You have visuals and sounds as well. But in terms of the physical sensations, of course, wheel force feedback is all that most of us have. So I do typically run somewhat high, moderate, I guess, would be the appropriate word, levels of force feedback in most of my racing sims. But here in RaceRoom, it's a lot more subdued, and in my opinion, a lot more realistic. yeah, I just find there's a lot less canned effects, and it feels really, really good. And that was true at Avis, and is true here at Hockenheim Classic as well. So you can feel the bumps in the road. Got this guy dead to rights, and then I should have some road to work with here. One of the tougher corners here at Hockenheim Classic. And I overshot it, but survived the corner anyway. He's coming back at me here. Will I be able to hold the position? Maybe. The Mercedes from the 95 DTMs, I find, is the most difficult to drive. I find it's quite slidey, so you have to just give yourself lots of time here, lots of patience in getting the car up to temperature. And once it is up, it tends to handle quite well, but in my opinion, if I was ranking the 3 DTM 95 cars we have, this would be at the bottom. I would say in terms of drivability, it's the Opel. That car to me is fantastic. Closely second is the Alfa for me, and the Alfa takes it based on sound. The sound of that Alfa is incredible. So, yeah, just do a few laps here. I'm sure you guys know Hockenheim. You probably know this classic layout as well from Automobilista 2. And I'm sure it's in other sims as well. Long straights. What that's going to highlight, if you're a single-player racer like me, just be mindful of your AI levels, because if it's too high, you're getting blown away on the straights, you're not going to have a good time. If it's too low, and you're able to easily overtake the AI, you will also not have a good time. So you really got to get your AI levels nailed down here. It's all straights. That's what this circuit is. You could probably survive the infield section with higher AI, but on the straights you're just going to be dead to rights if it's too high. So just be mindful of that. But yeah, I'll do one more lap here and just kind of give final thoughts on the new content and kind of the overall race room vibe these days. So yeah, broadly, the DTM 95s I think are fantastic. This is excellent content. I know it's been done to death. I appreciate your patience with me releasing a video later than so many other YouTubers on the exact same topic that they did such a great job covering. So thank you for those who stuck around. Yeah, the new tracks are phenomenal. As I told you guys, I love an airplane runway or airport runway in the middle of a racing circuit. To me, it's just a cool touch. So yeah, that's a nice touch. And Avis is not the most interesting layout. However, it's fun. It's quick, you know, a minute per lap. And then Hockenheim is Hockenheim. Hockenheim is a very cool circuit. All 3 cars, I mean, I know there's only 2 new ones, but yeah, all 3 cars in the DTM 95 are fun in their own way. Well, this one's less fun since I'm voiding laps. But yeah, very good. I mean, RaceRoom hardly misses, to be honest. Especially since they, you know, went back and upgraded most of the older cars. Yeah, it's hard to go wrong with RaceRoom. Just incredible top to bottom. Am I in love with the new visuals? No. I know a lot of people are. I know I've seen a lot of content on the RaceRoom update. A lot of people saying how great it looks. To me, it looks very good. But it just doesn't blow my mind. Like, I'm running the new Pure in Assetto Corsa, and that to me is mind-blowing. That to me is, holy smokes, how did you make it look this good? To me, this is a notable improvement to a game that was, you know, falling behind visually. So I'm going to give credit where credit is due and say KW Studios has done a lot with the visuals here. But yeah, it's still, to me, not even in my top 5 racing sims in terms of visuals. But overall, it is a killer sim, and I have a good time every time I fire up RaceRoom. So hopefully there's a lot more to come from this title in the future, and hopefully there's more improvement on my driving skills in the future as well. That was one of the worst corners, I think, in my 1200 videos on YouTube. Just straight up flubbed it. But just the same, I'm having a good time. I hope you guys had a good time. And I hope my tires eventually get some level of grip here. Nice effects with the dirt on the windshield. Looks really good, actually. Is there wipers in RaceRoom? I suspect not, because there's no weather. But I'm just curious how you get that off. Maybe you have to pit to get the dirt off your windshield. You got to get that dirt off your windshield. All right, this is boring. There's no other cars here. I apologize. So I'm going to wrap it up there. Well done, KW Studios. Thanks to you guys so much for watching this. Hope you enjoyed watching it. Let me know which is your favorite DTM 95 car. And I'm going to practice my driving, because that's obviously what I need. All right, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.